Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be going through and ranking the best small forwards in NBA 2K25 MyTEAM here on this tier list. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Help me push towards the 40,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. And without further ado, let's hop right into it. We got 30 of the best small forwards in the game, mixed them up pretty well here between the tiers. And yeah, we're going to start off with Zion Williamson, who I think is probably B tier. I'll be honest, the small forward position is not incredibly stacked. There are some cards in this list that I don't like very much. Zion is kind of one of them because of his release. Otherwise, I actually really like the card. So to me, Zion is still probably B tier, but I don't think I'd have him any lower than that. His stats and batters are incredible. He's an absolutely elite slasher, but his jumper's not great and his shot creation isn't elite. Now, most of these cards, to be fair, are not elite shot creators, so that's not a huge issue. The jumper, on the other hand, is, I think, a pretty decent issue, and he's only 6'6". I like the card. I don't love the card. If the jumper was better, would definitely have him higher. As is, I think B tier is fair. Paulo Banchero is still an elite level small forward, and I think he is A tier. I don't have him S tier anymore, but I still think he's a great card. Still think he's absolutely a competitive level small forward or power forward, in all honesty, in that matter. Very complete, smooth jump shot, does everything well. Doesn't have shot creation, but he's a great card. I think A tier for sure. Bobby Jones is absolutely incredible defensively, but has a 53 ball and a bad jump shot. 53 ball is low, but it is greenable with the stick. You combine that with a bad jumper, that's a killer. At this point in the game, I don't think Bobby Jones, despite being incredible defensively, is a card I would recommend. And among these guys, I think he's in the bottom 5 or so, which puts him in the D tier. Not totally atrocious, but the lack of shooting kills him. Otherwise, he'd be a good card. Dennis Rodman's going to go B tier for me as well. Same story as Zion in a lot of ways. Very athletic, very fast, limited shooter with, I mean, for him, it's kind of a low rating and a mediocre jumper. That's the thing. He's amazing defensively, very athletic, fast, versatile, skilled small forward, but he doesn't have shot creation and he doesn't have a great release, and doesn't have a high 3-ball either. It hurts the card. I don't love him. I don't hate him. I think B tier is the right spot for him. Calvin Nat. Low A or high B for me. I think I'd take Paulo over Nat right now still. In fact, I know I would, but I think you could make an argument for him. I think high B is where I'm going to go. I think I'd take him over Zion and Dennis Rodman just because his jumper is much better. He's an elite defender. He's super athletic in his own right. Honestly, he's a very similar card to these dudes. He just has a better jump shot, but his release is still, I mean, his jumper is still very good. His rating's only a 76. So he's not an elite level shooter, and he's still also only 6'6" in terms of height. I don't love the card. I think B tier is a fair spot for him. Larry Bird, people are going to get mad at me for this ranking. I'm putting him in D tier. I do not care. I do not like the card. His release is trash. His movement is not good. I get that the stats and badges are pretty good, specifically the badges especially, but I don't like the card. I don't like him at all. I used him. I wasn't a fan. I used his card for all-time Celtics in a tournament I played. I hated that. Like, I just don't like Larry Bird cards ever in my team until he gets a change jump shot. His jumper is just not good enough. He has no movement. He's just not good enough. I think D tier is legitimately fair. Sean Marion, I'm going to go A, not S. Very good card. I think there are 5 better small forwards than Sean Marion, 5 or 6, and on a 30 player list, it's going to put him in the A tier. He's very good. He's got a smooth release. He's an elite defender, very good slasher. Super versatile card. I think A tier is the right spot for him though. Paul Millsap, kind of a do-it-all budget option. Not exceedingly expensive, solid release, versatile defender, decent slasher. Like, not a bad card at all. Not great. I think B tier is probably right, but I don't mind the card. Like, if you need a small forward, you don't have a ton of MT. Guys like Calvin Nat and Paul Millsap are super solid cards. Draymond Green is incredible defensively, and he's got good ratings across the board, but his jumper isn't great, and he's also only 6'6". I think C tier is right. I'd rather have the guys in B tier than Draymond. He's not terrible, but C tier is the right spot for him. Giannis Antetokounmpo is our first S tier small forward, elite level card who does almost nothing poorly, in all honesty. Just exceedingly complete. His only flaw is a lowish 3-ball and a mediocre-ish jump shot, but he's 6'11" at small forward with unbelievable slashing, defense, all that type of stuff. Very good card still. I think he's S tier, no doubt about it. Adam Morrison cracks the top 5 or 6 small forwards, but not by a ton. I think he's probably the last guy in S tier, or like the second to last guy in S tier, but he's up there to me. I do like the card. I don't know. I think realistically S tier is probably the right spot for Morrison. He's got nice shot creation, better than almost any small forward. His jumper's much better this year. He's got a good fade. He's athletic. He's not a bad defender. He's a good card. I think S tier is right. Cedric Maxwell, lowish 3-ball, not much in terms of shot creation, but athletic, good defender. Honestly, B, low B, high C, probably. I mean, like, I don't love the card, but I don't hate the card. I think this is probably the right spot for him. LeBron's obviously S tier. That card is phenomenal. I think he's the best small forward in the game. He's been the best small forward in the game literally since the first day of the game, because his pink diamond would still be S tier. I mean, just incredible card this year. LeBron's changed jump shot, plus the fact he's got a high level fade is like, he's so good as a slasher, defensively, big player build, all that type of stuff. The only flaw with LeBron is his dribble style isn't very good. That's it. Everything else about the card is really good. Connie Hawkins, low A, really good defender, smooth jumper, underrated card. A card who came out last week in the explosive set, which was kind of the pay to win set, and the Tuesday drops this week with this not even pay to win, but just pay to get the cards. The Tuesday drops this season are going to be very money oriented, and I think that means that the supply is lower on the auction now. So I don't know if a lot of people have gotten this Connie Hawkins card, but he's really good. I just don't know if he's worth his price when you can get some other guys for slightly better values, but he's still a really good card, and I have no issues with him in A tier. Definitely a card I support. Danny Granger, high level shooter, not a high level defender, and not a high level shot creator. Offensively, he's nice. Defensively, I don't love the card. I think I'd take the guys in B tier over him. He's not a liability. I do like his jumper, but I think C tier is probably right for him as well. Larry Johnson, same problem that a lot of other small forwards have, which is a lack of shot creation, but jumper's nice. It's not amazing, but it's good enough. Stats and badges are very complete. Pretty much 90 across the board. Still a very solid card and still A tier. Rudy Gay is S tier to me, legitimately. I think he's that good, and I have no issues with it at all. He's a top 5 small forward in the game. I think he's the 4th best small forward in the game. I love that card. I think he does pretty much everything well. His jumper's great. He's got good movement. Defensively, he's solid. He's got an elite fade. He's an elite slasher. He's a great card. Really good. Jamal Mashburn is going D tier. Don't love the jumper. It's not terrible, but on paper, he's just, there's nothing he does special at all. Like, he's got 90 speed, 88 three ball, 85 driving dunk, 80 something defense. Like, he's not a total liability. Honestly, I think he's better than Larry Bird and Bobby Jones, probably. You know what? I'm going C tier for Jamal Mashburn. I don't like the card, but I don't think he's quite D tier either. I guess he probably is a borderline bottom 5 card on this list, but there's a couple other guys that I think are worse, so I think C tier is fair. X-Man is an S tier small forward. He is one of the 2 last S tier guys I'm going to put on this list. Elite level jump shot, great slasher, high level on ball defender. His stats and badges are super versatile, super good. He is a great card who does everything you need at small forward. He deserves S tier, and I'm not joking with that at all. Tito Turkoglu's limited defensively. I don't love the card. I don't hate the card either, but I think C tier is probably the right spot for him. His jumper's not amazing. It's better than I thought it was going to be this year, but it's still not great. He's not much of a shot creator. He's not amazing. He's not horrible, but he's not amazing. Antoine Walker, fine, good shooter, okay dunker, decent-ish, but not great defender. Like, meh. I think I'd rather have Paul Millsap, so again, probably C tier, but not horrible. Jonathan Isaac, if he had a better jumper, would absolutely be A tier, as is. I don't love the jump shot, and he's got no shot creation at all. Like, a lot of these guys aren't good shot creators. Jonathan Isaac has no shot creation. But I think B tier, high B is totally fair. I mean, you could make the argument for A tier, and honestly, I might move him up, but I think I probably leave him B tier just because I don't love the jumper. He's got no shot creation. He's an elite defender, though, and I think he's a very good card, but I would absolutely take everybody in A tier over him. Gerald Wallace, also B tier, same level as guys like Calvin Nat and probably John Isaac. High level defender. He's also a great slasher, and he can make his open shots. That's about it. He doesn't give you much else on the court, but he and John Isaac are like definitely those 3 guys, Isaac, Nat, and Gerald Wallace, all great budget cards, all high B tier. Very solid cards, not top tier guys, but super usable, still competitive level options. Jason Tatum's going to go A tier. No shot creation at all with him either, and he doesn't have a good fade either, but he's got a great jumper, high level defender, high level slasher, still a solid card. Does deserve to be an A tier guy for sure, I still think. Peja Stojakovic, same level as guys like Isaac, Gerald, and Nat. He's not as good defensively as them, but he's a better shooter than all of them by far, and he's still solid defensively, has decently complete stats. He's also 6'10". I like the card. I think B tier is fair. Tim Thomas, goodness gracious, how the mighty have fallen this year. He has no movement at all, and his jumper is much worse. He is way worse than he's been the last couple of years. Legitimately so much worse. I mean, he went from a great card to kind of a trash card. I think D tier is actually fair. He's not good at all. Kevin Durant's top 3 small forward in the game. I think Bron and Giannis are better, but KD's right there. He's amazing. He's very expensive, not worth buying, but he is an elite card. There's no doubt about it, and I have him S tier as well. Brandon Ingram, mediocre jumper, not a good defender. Don't love that card. You got to be good defensively at the small forward position. He is not. I think D tier is fair. Jeff Green, awesome budget card right there with Paulo Banchero, the best diamond small forwards in the game. Very complete stats and badges, high level jumper, elite slasher, versatile defender, Really, really good card. Definitely A tier to me. And then finally, Anton Jameson has Brook Lopez base. Stat and badge wise, he's good. His jumper is one of the worst of any small forwards. That puts him down at the bottom, just like a guy like Larry Bird and Bobby Jones, where the shooting is just going to be so limited because of the jump shot. So to me, this is actually a pretty good tier list. Would love to hear y'all's thoughts in the comment section down below. If you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.